Yo, what is up guys, Shinobi here, back again with another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another guide video, and today's video is going to be around powering up characters. I was asked in the comment section of one of my videos on kind of giving like a short comprehensive guide on how to do that, and I have a bunch of other guides on how to power up characters that I'm planning on making for 2025, especially with, of course, Bleach anime going crazy right now and a lot of new people getting into this game. I feel like now would be a good time, especially at the beginning of the year, to kind of get like a guide going for you guys, so that you guys have a pretty decent idea, or at least a way to know how to power up your characters in this game, so that you can be able to have fun and be able to showcase characters, or even start like a YouTube channel up or something, like what I'm doing right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this. If you want more guides, leave your comments on what else I think or you think I should make a guide on, and subscribe, because we got a lot of cool content coming your way, especially with Bleach Rebirth of Souls coming in like 3 months. And then of course we got a bunch of other content with, of course, 1000 Year Blood War and our Mugen battles that we've been doing. We have a tournament for 1000 Year Blood War captains, Go Take 13, that's coming up pretty soon. So other than that, let's go ahead and get straight into this. So as you can see, we got the new Ichigo here and a recently released Nemu, and we're going to be using these two as the examples for how to power up your characters. And I am going to go over accessories a little bit, though if you guys want to look at an accessory guide, I have one made actually, and since the accessories haven't changed that much, the guide is pretty up to date to what we got going on right now, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at it. I will explain this a little bit in this video, but the main video for accessories I'll have in the link so you guys can take a look at it, because it goes more in depth on how this stuff works versus what I'm trying to do here, which is more around the characters themselves. So other than that, we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at our characters. So first thing you need to know is, as far as powering up characters or getting into be as strong as the ones I have here, is you gotta know, are they a normal attacking unit or are they a strong attacking unit? Now, for those of the people in the know or paid more attention to the tutorial, you know how that works, but for those of you who didn't, I'm going to explain it now. So the way strong attack characters work in this game is they are more based around all their damage with these attacking, or these attacks specifically. So your first strong attack, second, third, or what we would like to call them our full screen, or whatever the second and third would be, usually ends up being a vortex or just a straightforward attack. This is going to be your main damage, and then you have your nat string that you're going to be using, or your normal attacks that you're going to be using, but that's not where your damage is going to be coming from. Though some characters do have the ability to do some pretty crazy damage, just based on how they design them. But in the case of this Ichigo specifically, you will be using, of course, a lot of strong attack damage or a lot of strong attacks to do your damage. And because of that, the main thing you want to focus on, this is why I say I'm going to focus on accessories a little bit, is going to be spiritual pressure and focus. These are going to be the two stats that you want to max out, or at least get to the highest point that you can, especially if you're new, because obviously you're not going to have all the stuff that I'm going to have. But these two stats are going to be the most important for you. And then last stat that's going to be important is going to be attack. This can boost the power a little bit, but it doesn't really matter too much. And then after that, you follow that up with either stamina or defense. But spiritual pressure will be the most important thing that you have on this character, and it'll be the only thing that really matters, because this also boosts your soul bomb damage, or your special move that you use with the animation. So there you have it. And that also goes into how you do your transcendence. Now, for those of you guys who know how transcendence works or don't, every single time you get a copy of a character, you unlock one of these transcendence slots. And in the case of a spiritual pressure unit, obviously you want to get this to 10. Now, I can go over where to get these materials in a different video, but the most important thing you need to know is that you need to get this to 10, or at least as far as you can get it. And then the second one you want to select on a spiritual pressure unit like Ichigo or any other would be, of course, focus, which increases your crit, and then attack. So basically the same list applies as the way you power up a character here, and as you can see, that's exactly what I did. Most of what I have this character's damage based around is, as you can see, strong attack damage. So 20% strong attack damage on a lieutenant's badge, and then the sub effect being spiritual pressure plus 30. And then same goes for the fortification pill. I have a minus on stamina, which is going to be HP, but an increase in spiritual pressure and focus, because that's what I want. And then on top of that, I have a spiritual pressure plus 20. I need to get that to plus 30 later. Once again, if you want to know how to do the extra effect, look at the accessory video. And then, of course, last but not least, this is probably the most important I would say accessory to get would be the T set for like every single element, because this gives you a 50% spiritual pressure boost, and you add another 30 on top of that. So that is really important, and I will also make another video when it comes to character links, because these are really important, and mine right now are pretty crappy, I'm not gonna lie to you, but these are really important, because this can really help determine how much damage you do, especially considering that the characters that you attach to your main one here, or link to them in this case, will add stats. So all these character stats, a bit of their stats are actually going into this character and giving it a boost. So the stronger your links are, or the stronger your links in general are as like their own character, the better. That is a short improved version of this. I could go in depth with it, but that's like the short improved version. So that is basically strong attack characters in a nutshell. And yeah, no, other than that, well, that's pretty much gonna be it. So that's strong attack users. Now, normal attacking characters. Now, considering that we just went over strong attack characters, normal attacking characters obviously are not going to be doing that. And you can see based on the stats that they're definitely not going to be doing that. And in this case, you know, normal attacking users usually end up being buffers or characters who use, of course, their normal attacks more. And we will obviously go and show the difference in a showcase in this video, so don't worry, I will show you guys the difference in damage for both of these. And then there's even a difference on how you link these characters as well, because a lot of the normal attacking units are used in Brave Battles, which is the kind of PvP AI system that they got in the game at the moment. And they're also used a lot in like stuff like Guild Quest and whatnot. And even some of them are used as just, I would say, farmers, which is a lot of them. But the main thing is that their main attack or their main damage is going to be used from their NAD string, which is going to be this. Not a lot of damage is coming from this, and 9 times out of 10, they usually end up being a buffer for the rest of your team, giving shields of some sort, and are really easy to use. Now, how do you boost these characters up or make them strong? Well, it's pretty much the same way, actually, as you would the strong attack units, except for you focus on a lot more different stats. So obviously, attack being the main stat, because you're going to be doing normal attacks, that's going to be the first thing that you need to focus on. The second most important stat, which is going to be pretty much mainstream throughout everything, is of course going to be focus, which actually I have enough to power up right here, and this is what you're basically be looking at. Scrolls, you know, you're going to get a lot of these as well, Hogyokus, but the main portion that you need to be focused on is gathering a lot of these, because you're going to need them. And there you go. So with that, we just got a boost of 1,000 focus, which is going to increase our crit damage and increase the damage that we do overall. You'll see it once we go ahead and get into the showcases with both these characters that we're testing out for this. But even with the links and even with the accessories, which once again I have an accessory video if you want to check that out, is mainly focused around normal attacking damage, and it's based around having your spiritual pressure be as low as possible, because you're not really going to be using a lot of it, and your attack as strong as possible, or just boosting all your other stats in general. And then even the character links that we have on: normal attack damage, strong attack recharge time. Now the only reason I have it like this is because obviously the second strong attack is a boost, so I want to spam that as much as possible. And even then I have a better link that I could probably use. I just use this one as the example. And then normal attack damage, because once again in this case you're not going to be really using these two attacks. It's going to be your buffing move and your normal attack. That's it. And your soul bomb, you can use it if you need to, but once again, not really going to be using it for that much, except for if you want to get weakened defense off. So other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for explaining how normal attacking units and strong attack units are. Now we're going to go into a battle and actually showcase what we're going to be looking at here. So let's go ahead and do so. Alright, and we are back. So we are actually doing one of the harder events in the game, or I wouldn't say hard, but one of the events that is a little bit harder here. And we actually have Masaki here, who I honestly forgot I had. I'm going to be real, I forgot I had this character. And I also forgot the fact that I had her 4 out of 5, so I almost had her completely max transcended. But she is a normal attacking unit, and similar to Nemu, is also a buffer. So we're going to be using her as an example here, along with Ichigo, who is going to be our main strong attack user on steroids, because he's broken as hell, to kind of showcase what I'm talking about as far as normal attack damage and strong attack damage and how they differ, so that you guys have at least a decent idea on how to, power up your characters. And hilariously enough, these two actually work together pretty well due to the fact that you got Misaki as a buffer and you got Ichigo as a strong attack unit. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this, and then I can show you what I'm talking about. I didn't want the video to be too long, especially for something like this. We got a lot more stuff that we gotta go in depth with, especially when it comes to stuff like gathering orbs, so you can use your summons, how to spend your orbs, all that stuff. Alright, so, as you can see, we got Ichigo right here. This is going to be our strong attack unit, this is our strong attack unit, and I'll show the damage that we're going to be doing here. And once again, these are going to be the attacks that you focus on when it comes to strong attack units. And then obviously some of these characters have EX moves, some of them will be buffing, some of them will be, of course, strong attacks themselves, but they are like a one use. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So as you can see, when it comes to strong attacks, they're going to be your main source of damage here. And that's what we're looking at. Versus your normal attacks, which will do some decent damage, but aren't as strong. Now, moving over to Misaki here. She is a normal attacking unit, meaning that majority of the damage that you're going to be doing is going to be based on her normal attacks, as you guys can see here. And obviously, she can buff characters as well with her second strong attack, which we'll showcase here. So, boom, not only does it do damage, but it buffs all your normal attacks. We're doing like 60k a hit, which in the grand screen of things probably doesn't look like much compared to what Ichigo was doing. But as you can see, you can spam your normal attacks more than you can spam your strong attacks. So, in the case of this, it doesn't really matter too much. And obviously, you got the shield going crazy as well. And then, as you can see, when you use your strong attacks on a normal attacking unit, it doesn't kill as much. Versus something like Ichigo here, who's also getting buffed. Yeah, like you guys can see the damage, like 160k to 200k damage. So, yeah, no, other than that, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So, in most cases, obviously, like I was showing earlier, you're going to be wanting to, of course, use Misaki or your normal attacking unit as a buffer versus Ichigo, who's going to be your main damage unit for the reasons I showed earlier. So, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much the gist of it in a nutshell. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to try and clear the rest of this out with Ichigo because don't want this video to take forever. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And accessories and links probably being the two most important things to pop your characters are just really important. I would say dupes are important too. But even with a character like Ichigo, you don't need to max transcend them unless you really want to. Like, you could get 2 copies of Ichigo and still go crazy with it. Just due to all the fact that you only need spiritual pressure and you only need, of course, crit damage. And there you go. Now, we're going to do this again, and the only reason I'm doing this again in this case is because I want to show you the difference in soul bomb damage, because there is a difference when you're using a normal attacking unit versus somebody who is a strong attack unit. Because another thing with normal attacking units is they are really weak when it comes to their spiritual pressure, so you won't be seeing them do a lot of soul bomb damage. They can still be useful though because they have the weakened defense effect, and what that does is when you hit somebody with a soul bomb, it will basically shred defense so you can do more damage. So we're gonna go ahead and just clear this out real quick, so that we can at least get something going here. Alright, boom, boom. Clear the room out. That's one, and gonna use this here, clear that out. And then, actually, I'm gonna buff myself with Misaki, just cause. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Hit him with a strong attack, just cause. And then hit him with a full screen. Boom. Let's see, where you at? Clear that out, and we'll just do this, because why not? We have shields, we can use them. So, clear that out and move on. Boom. Like, I love this Ichigo so much. It's actually one of the most impressive Ichigos they've made. Animation's going crazy. And one thing I've actually noticed is that the animations have improved with the more they've, like, released 1,000-year Blood War characters. Like, they've improved a lot. Alright. Now we're here to the main boss. This time around, we're actually going to go ahead and use Masaki's Soul Bomb. Which is beautiful, by the way, but it's just not going to do a lot of damage due to the fact that she's not a spiritual pressure unit. They did caption the manga pretty good, in my opinion. But as you can see, with normal attacking units, your soul bomb damage isn't going to be too good. But your normal attacking damage, on the other hand, and yeah, your normal attack damage is pretty nuts. Shred right through bosses pretty quickly. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much going to be it. This is like a basic overview on how to power up your characters and make them strong. You know, the difference between strong attack units and normal attacking units. You know, what items to use and what accessories to use. It's kind of like the basic overview. Now, we can go into a lot more, like, for instance, the fact that you could basically make your team stronger by having characters that boost other characters. So, there's also that. And I can actually show you that before we move on here, because that's going to be, like, the last thing that we show, because it's really important. Is, especially if you've been playing the game for a while, the more characters you get, then you start getting boosts. So, for instance, like, we had Misaki and Ichigo on the same team, for instance. So, at full stam, increased normal attack damage. Okay, never mind, she wasn't giving any boost, so we need to move this around. So, go into edit, because I actually had a team specifically built for this Ichigo. So, move you here, go to here. So, I'm pretty sure Toshiro specifically. And where is this Ichigo? This Ichigo, for instance. So, this Ichigo, while on the same team, can, as a substat, recover your team's stamina, so HP, and give shared complete status immunity, being that whenever there's like status effects on the ground, your team will not be affected just due to the fact that you just have this Ichigo in the team. You don't even have to use it. Just because you have him there will give you some pretty good stats. And then even then, you got something like Toshiro here, who I believe is a team plus party. Let's see. Yeah, team plus party, increase heart attribute soul reaper damage to status enemy affected enemies. So something like that could also be useful. So not only do you have ways to power up your characters just doing the normal stuff, but you also have ways to power up characters by just looking at their substats, which, once again, for characters or for people who haven't, gotten a lot of characters in this game yet, not too much to worry about that. That will just happen as you play the game, but just want to add that little tidbit in there because you can also increase your strength through there. And then last but not least, they just added this function recently, which would be the attribute trees. As long as you do your dailies, which if you're starting the game, you should definitely be doing that. After your character hits level 200, as long as you're doing your dailies, you can start powering these up. And then afterwards, it will increase the level to where you can have your characters going past level 200, which is why you see probably a bunch of people running around with characters that have like 260, in my case 233, for my heart units, and so on and so forth. So make sure to do your dailies, because that'll be really important to helping your characters power up. I haven't really been focusing on it, which is why my characters are still around like the 230 level, but once again, it's a daily thing. You don't really have to worry about it too much, and it's one of those things that as soon as you log into the game, you can just get it done within like 5 minutes or so. So it's not that big of a deal. It's pretty easy to do, which is really, really good, because it allows everybody to be able to power up their characters and get them stronger, especially with all the new content here. In fact, actually, here you go. Do a story quest. That's all you gotta do. And you just get all that. So, I mean, that's pretty much gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're actually gonna do a summon here because we got a summon we can do right now, hilariously enough. So let's go ahead and do that and see if we get anything, because I don't believe I've gotten anything off of this yet, and my luck has actually been kind of trash. I'm 20 steps into the main banner and I have not gotten more than one Ichigo. Oh shit, okay, my luck's actually not garbage this time. Who we get though? Uh, I was about to say, I thought that was the wrong card first. And I think I have the Yukiko already. Or Yaiko. Okay, I don't think we're getting anything else. I don't want to stall this out too much. But, hey, we actually got something. Not too bad. Now, I do have him already, but even still, I can use him to max Transcend. So, it's not the worst thing in the world. But, yeah, no, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.